Jake sat alone in his small cabin on the edge of the mining colony, watching the dust swirl outside his window. The planet was quiet tonight, with only the lonely whistle of wind and the distant hum of mining machines. Jake felt the emptiness, more than usual. He missed his friend Sam, who had moved to another colony months ago. Sam had always been there to share a laugh or fix a broken tool. Now, Jake was alone, and his silence pressed on him like a heavy blanket. He tried to distract himself by working on a broken comms device, but his mind kept drifting. He thought about the old days, when he and Sam would explore the rocky canyons and talk about their dreams. Back then, the world felt full of possibilities. Now, everything seemed dull and far away. Jake sighed and stepped outside to clear his head. The night air was crisp, and the moon hung low over the horizon, casting silver light over the sand. As he walked, he felt the ache of missing someone who once made every day brighter. He wondered if Sam ever thought about him, or if their friendship was just another memory, buried under time and distance. Suddenly, Jake noticed something strange near the edge of the path. A small figure lay crumpled in the dust, half hidden by shadows. He hurried over, heart pounding. As he got closer, he saw that it wasn't a miner or a lost animal. It was a girl, her skin a soft blue that shimmered in the moonlight. Her clothes were torn, and she looked hurt. Jake knelt down, gently shaking her shoulder. "Hey, are you okay?" he whispered. The girl's eyes fluttered open. They glowed a faint violet, and she spoke in a language Jake didn't understand. He pulled out his translator chip and pressed the button. "Help, please," she said, her voice weak and frightened. Jake's heart ached with worry, but also something else, a spark of hope. He hadn't talked to anyone new in months, and now here was someone who needed his help. Carefully, he lifted her into his arms. She was lighter than he expected, and she leaned into him, trusting him. He carried her back to his cabin and set her gently on his bed. She looked around, confused and scared. Jake tried to keep his voice calm and friendly. "My name is Jake," he said. "You're safe here." She nodded slowly. "Lyra," she whispered. Jake brought her water and a blanket, trying to make her comfortable. He wanted to ask her so many questions, where she came from, why she was here, what had happened to her. He could see she was too tired to talk. So he just sat beside her, offering quiet company. As the night wore on, Jake watched over Lyra, memories of Sam swirling in his mind. He wondered if Sam ever felt this lonely, or if the distance had made it easier to forget. Jake didn't want to forget. He knew the pain of losing someone, even if they were just far away, not gone forever. He thought about reaching out to Sam, sending a message just to say hello. But what would he say? "I miss you? Things aren't the same without you?" The words felt heavy and awkward. Instead, Jake focused on helping Lyra. Maybe helping someone new would fill the empty space inside him. As dawn approached, Lyra stirred and looked at Jake with gratitude in her eyes. She tried to sit up, wincing at the pain. "Thank you," she said softly. "You saved me." Jake smiled, feeling a flicker of pride. "Anyone would have done the same," he replied. Lyra shook her head. "No, not everyone helps a stranger. Not everyone is kind." Her words made Jake think. Maybe he was stronger than he realized. Even though he felt lonely and unsure, he still chose to help someone in need. Maybe that was what it meant to be human, to reach out, even when it was hard, even when you felt alone. Lyra looked at Jake, her expression serious. "I have a secret," she whispered, "but I can't tell you yet. It's too dangerous." Jake nodded, respecting her silence. He knew what it felt like to carry secrets, to hold pain close because you didn't know how to share it. He wanted to tell her about Sam, about the ache of missing someone who had been part of your world. But he stayed quiet, offering comfort. Without words. Outside, the sun rose slow and bright, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. Jake felt a little lighter as he watched the new day begin. Maybe things could change. Maybe he could reconnect with Lyra, with Sam, with the world around him. He thought about sending that message to Sam. Maybe today was the day. Maybe it was never too late to reach out, to bridge the distance between hearts. Jake looked at Lyra, who was already drifting back to sleep. He promised himself he would help her, no matter what secrets she carried. He would be the friend she needed, just as he wished someone would be there for him. As the first light of dawn filtered into the cabin, Jake couldn't shake the feeling that everything was about to change. He glanced at Lyra, who was still asleep, her blue skin glowing softly in the morning light. He remembered how she had collapsed in his arms, a stranger who had somehow become so important to him in just a few hours. Jake felt a mix of emotions: curiosity, concern, and a strange sense of hope. He thought about how he had wanted to reconnect with Sam, yet here was Lyra, an alien princess with her own secrets. Maybe this was the beginning of something new, something that could fill the empty space left by Sam's departure. Lyra stirred and opened her eyes, blinking as she adjusted to the light. "Where am I?" she asked, her voice still hoarse. "You're safe with me," Jake said gently. "You were hurt, and I didn't know what else to do." Lyra propped herself up on one elbow, her eyes searching his face. "Thank you, Jake. But I need you to listen. I'm not just any girl. I'm different. My people are in danger, and I need your help." Jake's heart raced. "What do you mean? How can I help you?" Lyra took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "I escaped from my home because they want to use me to control powerful technology. I came here looking for safety, but they will come for me. They will not stop until they find me." Jake felt a chill run down his spine. He had never been involved in anything like this. "What kind of technology?" he asked, feeling both scared and intrigued. Lyra hesitated, then reached for a pendant around her neck. It sparkled with a strange light. "This is the key. It can heal planets, bring life back to barren worlds. But in the wrong hands, it could be a weapon. I need to find a way to keep it safe." Jake's mind raced. He thought about his life on the colony, the struggles of the miners, and how the land was slowly dying. Maybe we can use it to help my people," he suggested. "We need something like that here. If it can heal, it could change everything." Lyra looked at him, her eyes wide. "You really think so? You want to help me?" "Of course," Jake replied, feeling a surge of determination. "I may not know much about your world, but I know what it's like to feel distant from someone you care about. I want to help you reconnect with your home, even if it's hard." Lyra smiled, and for a moment, the weight of the world lifted from her shoulders. "Thank you, Jake. But first, we need to move. They will be looking for me already." Jake nodded, feeling a sense of purpose. He grabbed a few supplies: water, food, and the old comms device he had been working on. "Let's find a place where you can be safe." As they stepped outside, the sun was fully risen, casting a warm glow over the landscape. Jake felt a sense of hope blooming inside him. He was no longer just a lonely engineer. He was part of something bigger. He was going to help someone in need, and maybe in the process, he would find a way to connect with Sam again. They moved quickly, ducking into the rocky canyons that surrounded the colony. The sun glinted off the stones, and Jake felt alive, energized by the adventure ahead. Lyra walked beside him, her presence a reminder that he was not alone. As they made their way through the canyons, Jake couldn't help but ask her more about her home. "What's it like where you come from?" Lyra hesitated, then began to describe her planet, a place of vibrant colors and lush landscapes. "It's beautiful, but it's also dangerous. My people are divided, and some want power. At any cost. That's why I had to leave. Jake listened closely, imagining a world so different from his own. You're brave for coming here, he said. Most people wouldn't have the courage to escape like that. Lyra smiled softly. I had to try. I didn't want to become a weapon. I wanted to be someone who brings hope. Her words struck a chord in Jake's heart. He thought about his own struggles, how he felt lost without Sam, how he wanted to reach out but didn't know how. I understand what it means to feel distant, Lyra. My best friend moved away, and I didn't know how to keep our friendship alive. But now I have a chance to help you, and maybe that will help me find my own way back to him. They stopped. For a moment, resting against a cool rock. Lyra looked at Jake, her eyes shining with determination. We can't let fear stop us. We have to believe that we can change things, even when it seems impossible. Jake nodded, feeling inspired. You're right. We can't give up. We have to fight for what's right, for the people we care about. Just then, they heard a distant sound ships approaching. Jake's heart raced. They're coming for you. We have to move. Lyra's face hardened with resolve. We need to find a safe place to hide until we can figure out our next steps. I can't go back without a plan. They hurried deeper, into the canyons, dodging behind rocks and boulders. Jake felt adrenaline pumping through his veins. He was scared, but he also felt alive. For the first time in a long time, he was part of something larger than himself. Inside the narrow cave, Jake and Lyra sat in silence, listening to the distant hum of the ships outside. Jake's heart raced, not just from fear, but also from the thrill of their new adventure. He felt a connection to Lyra, the alien princess, who had collapsed in his arms, and he wanted to help her find safety. But he couldn't shake the worry about what would happen next. Do you think they'll find us? Jake whispered, glancing at the entrance of the cave. Lyra shook her head. I don't know. They have technology that can track my energy signature, but if we stay quiet and hidden, we might be safe for a while. Jake nodded, trying to calm his nerves. What do we do now? Do we wait until they leave? Lyra took a deep breath. We can't just wait. We need to come up with a plan. I need to find a way to contact my people and warn them about the danger that's coming. Jake thought about his own situation. He had felt so distant from Sam since he moved away, unable to bridge the gap between them. Now here he was, ready to fight for someone he barely knew, but cared for deeply. How can we help your people? He asked. Lyra looked at him, her eyes fierce with determination. I have a device that can send a signal to my home planet, but I need to access a communication relay. There's one not far from here, but it will be dangerous to get there. If they find us, they won't let me go. Jake felt a surge of courage. We can do this together. I won't let them take you. Lyra smiled at him, her expression brightening. Thank you, Jake. I knew you were different from the others. You're willing to fight for what's right. As they sat in the cave, Jake's thoughts turned to Sam again. He missed their late-night talks and the laughter they shared. He wished he could reach out, but the fear of rejection held him back. Yet here he was, ready to risk everything for Lyra, a stranger who needed his help. Maybe this was the push he needed to reconnect with Sam as well. After some time, they decided to leave the cave. Lyra led the way, her determination shining through. The sun was high in the sky, and the heat made the air shimmer. Jake followed closely, keeping an eye on their surroundings. He could feel the weight of the moment. This was more than just a mission to help Lyra. It was a chance to redefine himself. As they approached the communication relay, Jake's heart pounded. It was a tall structure made of metal, standing alone in the desert landscape. We're almost there, Lyra said, her voice steady. Once we get inside, I can send the signal. Jake nodded, his mind racing with thoughts of what could go wrong. What if they're already there? What if they're waiting for us? We'll have to be quick, Lyra replied. I can help you avoid detection, but we need to work together. They made their way to the entrance of the relay, crouching low and moving quietly. The sound of footsteps echoed nearby, sending shivers down Jake's spine. They're here. He whispered urgently. Lyra nodded, her face serious. We need to split up. I can distract them, and you can find the control room. Jake felt a surge of fear. No, I can't let you do that alone. What if something happens to you? Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder, looking him in the eyes. You have to trust me, Jake. We can't let fear stop us. You have what it takes to do this. I believe in you. Her words ignited a fire inside him. He felt a sense of purpose, a desire to prove himself not just to Lyra, but to himself. Okay, he said finally. Let's do this. I'll find the control room. Lyra nodded, her expression filled with determination. I'll create a diversion. Just be careful. With that, she took a deep breath and moved toward the group of figures standing near the entrance. Jake watched as she approached them, her blue skin glowing in the sunlight. He felt a mix of admiration and fear. She was so brave, willing to risk everything to save her people. Jake turned and hurried into the relay, his heart pounding. Inside, the air was cool, and the dim lights flickered overhead. He followed the signs, searching for the control room. The building was filled with beeping machines and blinking lights, and he felt a sense of urgency. Time was running out. As he reached the control room, he saw a large console covered in buttons and screens. He had no idea how to operate it, but he couldn't let that stop him. He remembered the comms device he had been fixing and quickly began pressing buttons, hoping something would work. Suddenly, he heard shouting from outside. The pursuers had found Lyra. Panic surged through him. He had to hurry. With shaking hands, he pressed a few buttons, and the screen lit up with options. Come on, he muttered, trying to remember what he had seen before. He finally found the communication interface and activated it, praying it would reach Lyra's home planet. Signal sent, the console beeped. Connecting. Jake felt a rush of relief, but it was short-lived. He could hear footsteps approaching the control room. They were coming for him. He quickly scanned the room for an exit and spotted a small door at the back. He had to get out before they found him. Just as he turned to leave, the door burst open and a group of figures rushed in. Jake felt his heart drop as he recognized them as the pursuers. He backed away, his mind racing. He had to think fast. Where is she? One of them growled. Jake stood his ground, feeling a surge of courage. You won't take her. She's not going back with you. The pursuers looked at each other, surprised by his defiance. You're just a human, another one sneered. You think you can stop us? Jake felt a rush of adrenaline. He remembered Lyra's words. He had what it took. I may be just a human, but I won't let you hurt her. Suddenly, a loud explosion shook the building, and Jake realized Lyra had successfully created a diversion. The pursuers turned, confused by the noise. Go! Jake shouted, taking advantage of the distraction. He bolted toward the back door, his heart racing with hope and fear. He burst outside and spotted Lyra across the yard, dodging the enemies. This way, he called to her. Lyra saw him and sprinted toward him, her face determined. Together, they ran, side by side, ready to face whatever came next. They were stronger together, united by their courage and hope. As they dashed away from the relay, Jake felt a sense of purpose. He wasn't just fighting for Lyra. He was fighting for himself, too. He would reconnect with Sam, and he would not let fear keep him from reaching out to the people who mattered. As they escaped into the canyons, Jake knew that their journey was just beginning. They were two unlikely allies, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would change their worlds and maybe even the universe. Asterisk, asterisk, Jake and Lyra ran through the canyons, their feet pounding against the rocky ground. The sounds of pursuit faded behind them, but Jake's heart raced with adrenaline and fear. They had escaped the communication relay, but he knew the danger wasn't over yet. Lyra had secrets that could change everything, and he was determined to protect her. Once they found a secluded spot behind a large boulder, they paused to catch their breath. Jake looked at Lyra, who was trying to steady her breathing. Her blue skin shimmered under the sunlight, and he could see the determination in her eyes. "We need to keep moving," Lyra said, glancing back toward where they had come. "They will be searching for us." Jake nodded, feeling a sense of urgency. "But where do we go? We can't just run forever." Lyra bit her lip, clearly deep in thought. "There's a place, a safe haven, where I can reach my people and explain what's happening. But it's far from here, and we'll have to be careful." "What's this haven like?" Jake asked, curious about her world. "It's a hidden valley, shielded from view," she explained. "Only those who know how to enter can find it. But if we can get there, I can send a message to my planet and warn them about the danger." Jake felt a spark of hope. "Then let's get there as fast as we can. I'll help you." Lyra smiled at him, and for a moment the fear faded. "Thank you, Jake. You've already been so brave. I don't know what I would do without you." As they moved through the canyons, Jake thought about how far he had come since meeting Lyra. He had felt distant from Sam, his best friend who had moved away, but now he felt connected to Lyra in a way he never expected. They were both fighting for their futures, and that bond gave him strength. They navigated through narrow paths and steep inclines, keeping low to avoid being spotted. All the while, Jake was aware that they were being hunted. The tension hung in the air, but he pushed it aside, focusing on Lyra and their mission. After hours of hiking, they finally reached a hidden entrance covered by vines and rocks. Lyra gestured for him to follow her inside, and Jake felt a thrill of excitement mixed with fear. He had no idea what lay ahead, but he was ready to face it. Inside, the cave opened up into a beautiful valley, filled with lush greenery and colorful flowers. The sunlight streamed through gaps in the rocks, illuminating the space like a hidden paradise. "Welcome to the Vale of Hope," Lyra said, her eyes sparkling. "This is a sacred place for my people." Jake looked around in awe. The beauty of the valley took his breath away. "It's incredible," he said. "I've never seen anything like it." Lyra nodded, her expression serious. "But we don't have time to relax. I need to reach my home world and warn them. The technology I have can help bring peace, but I must get to it first." Jake followed her as they walked deeper into the valley. They came to a shimmering pool of water, surrounded by glowing plants. In the center of the pool was a large stone pedestal, and on it rested a small device that looked like a crystal. "What is that?" Jake asked, pointing to T. The light from the crystal pulsed around Jake and Lyra, creating a protective barrier against the pursuers. As the bright glow faded, they found themselves standing in the middle of the Vale of Hope, the air thick with anticipation. Jake looked around, half expecting the pursuers to come charging back, but they had retreated, confused and defeated. Lyra turned to him, her expression serious. "We did it. We sent the message to my people. They know I'm in danger." Jake felt a rush of relief mixed with pride. "That's amazing. But what happens now? What if they don't get here in time?" Lyra took a deep breath, her eyes reflecting. "Both hope and worry. Now we wait. My people will come for me, but we need to stay hidden until they arrive." "The danger isn't over yet." Jake nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. "I'll stay with you. We'll protect this place together." As They settled into a corner of the valley. Jake's thoughts drifted back to Sam. He missed their friendship terribly. They had shared so many adventures together, and now it felt like a chasm had opened between them since Sam moved away. Jake had been so focused on feeling distant that he hadn't reached out. But now, standing in this extraordinary place, and fighting for someone he cared about, he realized he didn't want to let that distance define him. "Are you okay?" Lyra asked, noticing the change in his expression. "I'm just thinking about my friend," Jake admitted. "He moved away a while back, and I've been feeling lost without him. I want to reconnect, but I don't know how." Lyra smiled gently. "It's hard to reach out when you feel far away, but sometimes you just have to take the leap. You have to believe it's worth it." Jake nodded, inspired by Lyra's words. "You're right. I need to reach out to him. I can't let fear hold me back." As they sat in the valley, Jake took out his old comms device. It had been collecting dust since Sam moved away, but now it felt like a lifeline. "I could send him a message," Jake said, hopeful. "Maybe I can invite him to visit. If he sees this place, maybe it will remind him of our friendship." Lyra's eyes lit up. "That's a great idea. Show him how much this means to you. It might help bridge the distance." Jake felt a surge of determination. He opened the device and began typing a message to Sam. His heart raced as he wrote, trying to express everything he felt. He wanted Sam to know that he missed him, that their friendship still mattered. He wanted to share the adventure he was experiencing with Lyra, the alien princess who had changed his life. "I hope he responds," Jake said, glancing at Lyra. "I really want him to understand." "He might surprise you," Lyra replied, her tone encouraging. "Friendships can endure distance if both people are willing to fight for it." Just then, the device beeped, indicating a connection. Jake's heart raced as he sent the message. He hoped Sam would receive it, but he also felt nervous. What if Sam had moved on? What if he didn't want to reconnect? "Now we wait," Lyra said, sensing his anxiety. "But remember, you've already taken the first step. That's what matters." As they waited, Jake thought about the lessons he had learned from Lyra. He had faced danger and uncertainty, yet he had found strength in himself that he never knew existed. He realized that he could apply that same courage to his friendship with Sam. He didn't have to be afraid of reaching out. He could choose to be brave. After what felt like an eternity, the device beeped again. Jake's heart leaped as he saw Sam's name flash on the screen. He opened the message quickly, his hands shaking with anticipation. "Jake, I got your message. I miss you too. I've been thinking about our adventures. I'd love to visit if you can get me a shuttle ticket. Let's catch up." Jake couldn't believe his eyes. A wave of relief and joy washed over him. Sam wanted to reconnect. He quickly typed back, excitedly arranging the details for Sam's visit. "I can't wait to see you. I'll get you a ticket right away. There's so much to show you here." As he sent the message, Jake felt a weight lift off his shoulders. The distance that had felt so enormous just moments before now seemed surmountable. He had taken a leap of faith, and it had paid off. "Jake, you did it," Lyra exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "You're reaching out, just like I knew you would." "Thank you for pushing me," Jake replied, feeling grateful. "I didn't realize how much I needed this until now." The two of them shared a moment of triumph, celebrating not just the message, but the bond they had forged. They were both fighting for their futures, Lyra for her home and Jake for his friendship, but their celebration was cut short by the sound of engines approaching. Jake and Lyra exchanged worried glances. "They're back," she said, her voice tense. "We need to hide." They ducked behind a large rock, their hearts racing as the pursuers entered the valley. Jake felt a mix of fear and determination. He had fought for Lyra once, and he was ready to do it again. "Stay close," Jakey whispered, gripping a rock for protection. "We'll find a way to outsmart them." As the pursuers scanned the area, Lyra focused on the crystal, which still glowed faintly. "If we can activate its power, we might be able to create a distraction." Jake nodded, feeling hopeful. "Let's do it." They moved quietly, trying to stay hidden as they reached the pedestal. Lyra placed her hands on the crystal, channeling her energy into it. The light brightened, casting a warm glow that filled. The the pursuers noticed the light and rushed toward it, confused. "What's happening?" one of them shouted. "Now!" Jake urged, and Lyra activated the crystal's power. A brilliant flash erupted, blinding the pursuers and sending them stumbling back. "Run!" Jake shouted, grabbing Lyra's hand. They sprinted through the valley, using the chaos to their advantage. The light from the crystal pulsed behind them, creating a barrier that shielded them from their enemies. As they escaped, Jake felt a rush of adrenaline. They had faced danger together, and now they were free. He knew they still had challenges ahead, but they had proven their strength. They reached a safe distance. They stopped to catch their breath. Jake looked at Lyra, who was smiling despite the chaos. "We did it," he said, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "We fought them off." "Yes, we did," Lyra replied, her eyes shining with pride. "And you showed me that humanity has great strength, courage, hope, and friendship." Jake smiled back, feeling a warmth in his chest. "And you've shown me that distance doesn't mean losing the people we care about. We can always fight to reconnect." As they stood together in the Veil of Hope, Jake felt a renewed sense of purpose. He had faced his fears and taken a leap of faith, both for Lyra and for his own friendship with Sam. No matter what challenges lay ahead, he knew he wouldn't be alone. Together, they would face whatever came next. They were stronger for it, united by hope and the belief that friendship could overcome any distance. After their escape from the pursuers, Jake and Lyra found a quiet spot near the edge of the Veil of Hope. The valley was a sanctuary, but they knew they couldn't stay hidden forever. Danger was still lurking, and they had to prepare for what was next. Jake felt a mix of relief and anxiety. They had fought bravely, but the battle wasn't over. As they sat on a rock, catching their breath, Jake turned to Lyra. "What's our next step? We've sent the message, but how do we know your people will come for us?" Lyra looked thoughtful. "They will come, Jake. My planet has a strong connection to those who are lost. They will sense my distress, and as long as we can hold out, they will find us." Jake nodded, but felt a twinge of doubt. What if they don't? What if it's too late? "Then we'll make a choice," Lyra said firmly. "We will fight together. We can't let fear dictate our actions. Remember, we are stronger when we stand united." Her words resonated with Jake. He had felt so distant from Sam, so unsure of how to bridge the gap since Sam had moved away. But now, standing in the Veil of Hope, he felt empowered. Maybe this was his chance to not only help Lyra, but also to find his own courage to reconnect with Sam. "Let's prepare for anything," Jake said, determination in his voice. "If we have to fight, we'll be ready." As they gathered supplies and set up a plan, Jake's thoughts drifted to his friend. He remembered their laughter, the adventures they had shared, and how much he missed those moments. He wanted to tell Sam about this place, about Lyra, about the bravery they were showing together. Maybe he could inspire Sam to reconnect, just as Lyra had inspired him. The day passed, and as the sun began to set, the sky filled with vibrant colors. Jake and Lyra sat together, watching the beauty unfold before them. It was a peaceful moment, a reminder of the hope that still existed in the universe. "Jake," Lyra said softly, breaking the silence, "you've shown so much courage. I admire how you're willing to fight for what you care about. Jake felt a warmth in his heart. Thank you, Lara. You've taught me what it means to stand up for someone. I've realized that even when it feels like we're far apart, we can still find ways to connect. Just then, a low rumble echoed through the valley. Jake's heart raced as he looked around. What was that? Lyra's expression turned serious. It sounds like they've found us. We need to prepare. Jake felt a surge of adrenaline. What do we do? There's a hidden path that leads deeper into the valley, Lyra said quickly. If we can get there, we might find a way to outsmart them. They gathered their things and moved swiftly, staying low to avoid detection. As they navigated the winding paths, Jake's mind raced. He couldn't let fear overcome him. He had to stay strong for both Lyra